Welcome back everybody to Top Tier Studios. This is episode 17 and we're pretty much going to start off right where we left off. So in the last episode we were working on these walls and getting everything kind of laid out for our boat ride. And we also worked on a little shop and we finished off a flat ride. That was like the first thing we did. So we're actually going to go into the dark ride that we're working on and we're actually going to start theming it. So we put all the walls down, now we're going to put in these windows and all this extra stuff that's going to tell the story. And I did have a little bit of a heart change with this area. Nothing's changing about like the ride or anything. It's just more like the theming. So originally I was thinking it would be like kind of like a French Riviera almost, kind of like love based. But after looking at the scenery and all that, it makes more sense to go the pirate route. So I'm trying not to go exactly how Pirates of the Caribbean went at Disneyland, but it's going to involve a lot of pirate stuff, and it's not going to look too piratey from the outside, except for this like sunken ship, and I have a really cool idea to do with that, and we'll probably work on that next episode, and that's basically going to be almost like a show. So you know how you go to parks and there's like some sort of show, that'd kind of be like a diving show or something like that, and there's also going to be some like cool water features and stuff that'll be triggered with the ride. So that's not really going to be started this episode. We're going to get pretty much done with this building, I guess you could say. I would say there's going to be one more episode for this ride, and that's going to be next episode where we're going to finish off the theming, and there will probably be a POV of the ride as well. So I also mentioned that with like all the rides in here that are the bigger, more expensive rides, they are going to be themed to some character within the park. So we're going to put that in pretty much at the very end. There's going to be a character spot going in. That's going to be for Captain Lockjaw. Pretty much he's the pirate character of the game, I guess you could say. So that's what we're going to be doing there. So he's going to be the character. So this is going to be Captain Lockjaw's ride of something, like I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but he's going to be involved in the name. So if you guys have any suggestions, you can definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you guys are thinking. Anyway, so we're basically working on this ride here, as I said, and got past this first little section. The first section was just going to be kind of an entrance where you just kind of see some pirates sitting around doing nothing, and then it kind of turns and banks outward. So the building on the left side of the track kind of comes out from the wall, and that's basically to block what's coming up later. That way I don't have to do a bunch of closed sections and like doors and stuff. It can just be a continuous straight path, because I really don't have that space. Like if you look from a top-down view, there is absolutely no way that this could be any different, because the amount of space that I had from our sci-fi ride and this ride, there's no space there. And you kind of saw that when I was building the walls last episode, especially that red wall, like the red wood wall back near the drop, which isn't really a drop, by the way. It's just kind of a little elevation change to be able to go out into the waterfront out there in the front of the park. So yeah, so the second section, I guess you could say, it's all one big section, but after during the curve, the idea was these pirates come down and start almost kidnap this woman or whatever. So that was kind of where I was going with that. And then there's this pirate savior. So the way I did that, basically I incorporated the fast lane line. That's kind of like a bridge, and they kind of rappelled down, and then they are going after this woman under all this scaffolding and stuff. So that's a little bit of a different scenery as well. I kind of incorporated some scaffolding and something that's not really like just a straight up building with doors and windows. So on the other side, it's kind of like this guy is swinging through a window, and that part, I wish there was a better animatronic for it, but there's not. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're kind of getting to the end of this theming section here, and there's one more little section that's after the curve that I'm going to be working on, and I just kind of put in a boat there as well on the main front. That'll be incorporated probably next episode. We're not going to get there today. Okay, so that was a lot to kind of throw at you, but that's kind of how this pace of the video was going. just kind of doing a bunch of stuff rapid fire, really just because it's a lot easier once you have the walls in to actually go in and just put in the little scenery bits after you have like a storyline. So I kind of gave you the storyline there. Here, this is the last part of the storyline that's really going to be a little harder until the actual ending of the ride, which we will get to next episode. So next episode will be finishing off the ride and a POV of this ride, and then we'll be done with this area. So that's all to come next episode. But this episode, we're just going to finish off the theming with this little... I was thinking this area would be more like a sewer type thing, and so there's going to be like skeletons on the wall and all that. And then over here in front of this area, I was thinking it could be more of like a cargo shop area. So there's going to be a bunch of boxes and stuff. And then you're going to see the woman who was like kidnapped. She's going to be there. And then there's going to be a bunch of pirates. So this first part of it on the right side, I guess, or the closest side to the boat, it's going to be just them sitting there. And then on the other side, that's when a bunch of special effects are going to come in. So there's going to be a stunt person that goes flying into the sewers because of the barrel explosion, and there's going to be some fire and all that. So that's kind of what's going to be happening in this area. Now, there was one problem I had with this ride, and that was this drop area. So apparently, there's no way to get rid of the pause on the drop. So when the boat gets to the drop, it like hangs over the drop, but it like pauses there for a second. And I have no idea why, but it does, and it kind of annoyed me, and I tried to get it as slow as possible, but you would think like you would be able to not have that at all. Nope, I could not figure out how, so if you guys know, you could definitely help me out there, but if not, I guess it's just part of the game, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. So that's pretty much the theming for this ride is done on the entrance area, and then as I said, like on the pond or the riverfront or whatever you want to call it, there's really not going to be much except for that boat that we're going to have and like some special effects. And then we're going to work on the other part of it, which is going to be kind of, I guess if you know like Splash Mountain at Disneyland, how it has that little like musical section, and it's going to be like, it's all like happy and all that. That's kind of what I'm going to go for. If you saw when I was first theming this, there was a stage with some pirates singing. That is going to go back there as well. So that's kind of what I'm going for there. I don't know exactly how I'm going to lay it out yet, but that's kind of what I'm going for. Anyway, we are working on the final part of this episode. It was a little bit of a shorter episode, I guess, and there was a lot going on. So basically what we're doing in this area is covering up the building on the front so it doesn't look all crazy. So we have a bunch of different colored walls, kind of fitting into like a Riviera, I hope anyway. It kind of looks like the city section in a way, but I tried to kind of make it a little bit more of a like riverfront theme. So we'll see. I use like the stucco walls and all that instead of like bricks and stuff and like the wood. But I guess it looks good in the end. But the one thing I didn't neglect to do was the actual station. I did do some walls on it, but I didn't really like finish it. So I'm gonna have to go back and do that next episode as well. But that's not too hard. It's just a couple of windows here and there, and then making sure that it's all covered up, and then we'll be done with this area. So we're getting near the end of this section here, which is really exciting to know, so we can move on to our final, it's not the final area, our next area, which I'm not gonna let go yet, just because we have a little ways to go. We have that next episode, and then we're gonna have probably like a transition episode maybe, just to kind of make sure that everything's all set. We might start theming it, but I don't know like if we'll actually get to the main attraction in the next couple of episodes or not, but that's all kind of coming. So we're within the final minute now. We're just gonna put in that entertainment spot as I said, and then do some theming, or I guess some dressing up of the buildings, and then we're gonna be done here. So yeah, so this brick building is the one that features that entertainment building, and then this other like brick, I guess it's like a white brick or whatever you want to call it, I don't know what it's called, that's gonna feature like just to cover up the sewer section. So that is it for this episode. We have about 10 seconds left. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed, and you'll tune in next time. Peace out.